to Sweet with the Twits podcast. It is your host Skylar here, and this is I'm so excited. Don't mind the shiny part of my head. That's grease. I'm black. So we gotta use that grease on our scalps and stuff. But I'm so excited. Wait, that's an episode 2? Episode 3. This is episode 3. What am I talking about? Yeah, that's awkward. So I'm gonna dive right into episode 3. So I wanted to share it with you guys. Something I got from the beauty supply store. Do y'all guys first off know about this candy? It's called Cream Savers. It's strawberry and cream. This is I think a Christian candy company. And they're so good. I found out about them from a company that has now shut down and closed its doors. But it was called the Christian store called Lifeway. That's where I first found out about these, and I've been obsessed ever since. And now that Dollar Tree sells these, like the rolls, which is where I got this from, I will be getting some more. I absolutely love these. I'm sorry guys, I'm back. Don't you just dislike when people don't respect or value your interest or support you? That's me. Like, literally, no one, like, your own family doesn't support you or even talk about what interest do you have, this, that, and the third, and they don't even believe in you. This is what I deal with every day. I have to push this side of me, YouTube, TikTok, I made it to my colleges, like I'm literally in my university's alumni like book. Like I did a huge thing. Like your achievements they never go noticed. Like you never get really celebrated. You never hear like, oh, I'm proud of you. Like you feel like you have to have everything figured out right here, right now, in this very moment. You have to have all of life figured out. And it's just so unfair. Like where's my hope? Where's my support system? It's like, you got this. Like you can be anything you set your mind to, and we will move down. Where is that energy? Nowhere to be found. Okay. I'll keep that in mind when I do make it, because I will make it. I know I'm not here because of myself, because of someone else. I'm here because of God. I'm still here because of God. Trust me, if it was up to solely me, I would not be here today. Like at all. Anyway, I don't even remember what I was talking about, but the candies, yes. So y'all guys definitely should go check them out. If your Dollar Tree has them, I don't know if they will, but when I saw those, I was like, memories came flooding back. Another thing is that I went to my beauty supply store, or one of them, and I've always wanted to learn how to wear the scarves, but I don't know how to tie them or like anything like that. So this beauty supply store had rhinestone scarves. So I'm gonna show you the one that I got. It's like Gucci inspired. So this is how she's wearing it, and I want to learn how to tie these and then wear them because I really want to do that. Like I think it's so cute, and I need to get into my my roots. So I want to try this for sure. So y'all guys stay tuned because I'm probably gonna make a TikTok video out of it because this should be fun to do. But today's episode is we're gonna talk a lot just about sororities, fraternities, guys, and I don't know. We'll see where it kind of goes from here. So, Greek life, college Greek life. Oh my gosh, that's literally the epitome of college. I saw this video where someone said people don't even go to college for a degree. They go for the experience. And I believe that. I think a lot of people definitely neglect their studies a lot and they go to parties, they go to Greek life stuff, sorority stuff, fraternity stuff, everything that is technically not that important and that won't, you know, get you a degree, right? And it's like you just came to college for the experience. Like you thought you didn't have to put any work in, you know? And I agree with that because it can, that whole Greek life in itself of college is a whole experience. It is literally like you're at a concert for most of your life. For 4 years straight. It's like a never ending Coachella, honestly, experience. So the university that I went to though was a little bit different as far as ratio of girls and boys. So I went to Texas Women's University. Yep, pioneers, and most of the the students are girls, and there's like it's now I think a little bit bigger of a percentage are guys, but it's still not like a lot. Like if you go to SMU, Baylor, like it's not, a lot. And we don't even have a football team. So but there are guys that go to our university, and I remember not being shocked, but I was like, oh, okay, like okay. I knew it wasn't just it wasn't just an all girls university. I knew that, but I don't know why I thought. I mean, I was running I saw a lot of guys, like a lot, and I said, "There's no way they go to TW." Hmm? um. So I want to talk about the fraternities because, like I said, we don't have that many there. I don't even remember all the fraternities, but the one that I remember, which I keep forgetting the name of it, but it's literally the brother fraternity to the sister sorority Zeta Phi Beta. If you're a Zeta, shout out to you. Um, but that fraternity that's the brother to the Zeta Phi Betas, we had a lot of run-ins with them because I went to a lot of Zeta Phi Beta um, events that they held, and they were like open events, so it wasn't just pertaining to current members of the sorority, but it was open to everyone to kind of mingle, get to know um, different members from that sorority, get to know the sorority itself, just kind of have fun and meet new people and stuff. And let's say you are interested in joining their sorority, it was kind of like that thing. And so we would go to a lot of their events, and this fraternity would be there. And let's just say the events were so fun. let me start off by saying that the events were so fun. I really think that the Zetas were really open arms. I really did appreciate them. Like they made my freshman year, like the start of my freshman year, really one to remember. I literally have so many videos and memories from all the different events I went to, um, that they held, and like meeting them. And I really was considering becoming Zeta, hands down. I really love the energy. Like I said, it was something about them. And I knew when I went off to college, I was like, I want to join a sorority. Didn't know which one, obviously, but I wanted to join a sorority. Like, that was one of the goals of mine. I never got to do that. And it makes me sad when I think about, like, I could have been a Zeta. Like, I think I would have rocked being in a sorority. I think I really have that nature of making friends, of bringing people together. I really have that in me. I'm very social. So I think being in a sorority would have just amplified my social skills, my um, like public speaking skills, my volunteering and community work. I think I've already been, mind you, I've been doing that since I was old enough in the church to start doing like community outreach and social events and being on student panels and standing before administrators and teachers and mayors and church, vice presidents. And I have been in front of authority, I guess you could say. I have been in front of plenty of authoritative people, people that can influence bodies of big bodies of people. If I was in a sorority, I think that would have definitely elevated it and made me even stronger in what I'm doing right now, like YouTube, TikTok, social media, having my website, trying to build something for myself. I think that would have really opened a lot of doors. So I love the Zetas. Like, that's what I gotta say. That was one of my favorite sororities ever. The AKAs, excuse me, I met them at the Greek life, like, not fair, but event where all the Greek life come in one room or auditorium, and they set up, like little booths, and they kind of talk about themselves. So I met the AKAs then. And then I think like maybe a few other times, but we never really went to like their events. So I never really got to mingle with them. Um, Even though a lot of people in my church, and that I grew up with, were AKAs. So I kind of knew a lot more about them and the Zetas, but I really loved the Zetas. Like, I really did. And I was so close to joining them because I was like, okay, sophomore year comes around, like I'm gonna be in a sorority. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna be living life, because our requirement, or at least I don't know if it's every sorority, but was that you had to have at least, I think, like going like 24 hours of credit, um, courses. So you couldn't join your freshman year, but you could your sophomore year, unless you walked in with like a bunch of credits, and that's different. But yeah, so I was like, okay, sophomore year, I'll have that amount of hours so I can join the sorority. Like, that was like the one requirement, you had to have those hours. And my friends were, well, I know Safari was, shout out to you. She was really thinking about joining Zetas too. And I was like, oh my gosh, if we all like joined Zetas and got accepted, oh my gosh, like that would be a whole thing. Um, and then I remember I never experienced this, but I think I saw other girls experience the bid day stuff. I know bid day is like a huge thing, especially for Alabama, um, Ole Miss. What are some other ones that are like huge on bid days? Like those universities go above and beyond. Um, and I bet that is such a huge feeling when you do get, I guess, selected and a part of the sorority that you know, really worked hard to, I guess, try out for. So, yeah, there was like so many other sororities and fraternities too, guys. Like, I can't even name really any of them, but those are the main ones I remember. And the other one that I remember, which, yes, I know I'm kind of naming off like predominantly black sororities. Like I said, there's many others. Like, I think Sigma Sigma Sigma, that was another girl for sorority. But another black sorority is the Deltas. I don't remember their names. Is it is it Delta Sigma Theta? Ooh, I do not want to get that wrong, but shout out to the Deltas. They're white and red. Um, that was another one I got to like kind of see. Never went to any really events of theirs. I don't even half of these I don't even remember if they had events, and if they did, I just didn't hear about them. But yeah, by going and experiencing the Greek showcases where the Greek lives come and perform to the new freshmen each year, that is so cool. Like that showcase was so fun. It was so amazing and it was such a great feeling like to see like this could be me one day, up here pledging and stuff. And it was just really amazing. I think Greek life is a huge deal in college, and I see why. And also, it would not have been hard for me, honestly, to join a Greek life. And I say this because, like I said, I've done most of everything that any type of sorority, like, keeps up their members doing, which is community service work, um, like your reputation, your appearance, like your grades, um, what's it called? Doing those social events to get, some potential members. I've done that. I did that in high school when I was in Carousel Roses, which was only exclusive to juniors and seniors. So I know what it's like. I feel like I kind of experienced being in a little sorority in high school because that was like what we were doing. We did a lot of social events, kind of like volunteer stuff. Like it was just like, and the thing is that the gift exchange was literally called Big Sis, Little Sis. And isn't that what sororities do in college? So, like, I already experienced so much of that sorority life kind of in high school. So, it would have been nothing for me to be in a sorority, even though I would be paying for it like a lot more than what the little, um, what's it called, club fee for my Carousel Roses back in high school would have been. I know it would have been a lot more. But also, sororities can also halfway cover your tuition and stuff. I know, like, if you're in a certain sorority, like, you can get certain, like, scholarships, I guess. So, sororities do wonders, fraternities do wonders um, for you in college and then especially out of college. A lot of, you know, yeah. So that's what I wanted to talk about, sororities and fraternities. So if you can and have the money or like the resources, definitely join those because I still think this goes to say I don't want to be a student going to leave some type of mark I know it is a little bit more challenging in college because you do have to pay for everything. Um, and it's not, a couple $100s either. So I completely understand that, but there's clubs that you don't have to, you don't have to join a sorority, mind you not. But definitely be active and have fun. Like, have fun. Another thing was that I did not know like how deep I think college can like consume you. Like I said, a lot of people, and I've heard people say, "Oh, I went to college just for the party, I guess, experience." And it's like, what do you mean? Just the party? Like, you could do that anytime, any day, anywhere else. Like, no, you're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars and you're saying you just to experience the partying? Like, no. And the people that take college seriously, excuse me, and their courses seriously, college is a lot. Like, people who look down on people who go to college to get that extra education, you can't say anything if you've never been in, like, you've never even taken a college course or taken a whole college schedule. Don't say anything because it is hard. Like, it's harder than what you think. You really have to be disciplined because there's so many distractions. There's so many, it's just a bigger arena that comes with bigger risk. Like, you can, let's say, go to this one party and your whole life could like change. Do skip this class and then you just fail the whole year. Like, college is literally, okay, what are my risks and how big are these risks that I'm going to take? Like, it's literally, if you miss one class one time, if you miss it one time, you could literally be behind for the rest of the year. That's how college is. Everything is so fast. So in high school, not everything, like most high school, you had like a few days on a certain topic or curriculum. No, in college, you don't get that. You get one day on that one topic, and then the next day, it's a completely different topic. Completely different. So if you were not there for that one day that you missed, you could be behind for the rest of the semester. And it's just like, what is happening? So you really have to be rooted in getting your stuff done and like being focused because you will have that in college. And I think I gave into a lot of those because I was feeling so overwhelmed and pressured and lost and struggling. So I said, well, you know, I'm just going to go party. I'm going to go stay out late. I'm going to, be on this app talking to guys instead of focusing on my work. Don't get me wrong. I most of the time I did my work and got my work done early. Okay. I'm not saying that I was blowing through my studies. No, because trust me, if I was doing that, I would not have a degree to this day because my credits transferred. Let's just say that. If I really blew through everything I did in my first year of college, I would not have a degree to this day. So I didn't like just really blow through everything and, fell and no. But I did let a lot of my emotions kind of decide what I would do and how much I cared about certain things. Like I said, I was in a bad place my first semester of college. I was in a bad place. So I wasn't really thinking too clearly. um, so be careful about that life in college. It's 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 serious. Also, boys are another distraction in college. Like, Like, what? I had, I guess you could say I had a crush in one of my classes. And then actually I found out he was in two of my classes in college. But I never like talked to him. I never went up to him. Uh, my friends kind of knew I had one. And then I found out that he was in one of my friends' classes. And it just like was a whole thing from there. So I did have a crush. Uh, I don't think I really talk about that. I don't even think I've told my best friend that. Yeah, I had a crush in college, and he was cute. Like, you know, I guess you could say he was my type. I guess probably if he had like was a little bit like not like buff, but like, tattoos. I think he would be my type to this day. Like he would be my type right now. Back then he was. He had the curly hair. He had glasses. Sometimes I don't. He wouldn't wear his glasses, so I guess he had contacts. He was tall. He was my type, and he was in school. Like you're my type. Um, but yeah, like be careful with the boys. I don't really know what else I can say. Those I have some stories, but they're kind of like stories for a different day. Uh, what else? Like this episode is really just about sorority life, Greek life, boys, um, parties. That's what we can talk about. I went to my first party, like college party. um, and that was back in November, I think. Yeah, it wasn't October because my friends stayed on campus during like Halloween. I came back home. So they got to experience like the Halloween party like vibe. I did not. They told me like a lot happened and I was like, "Oh," and I missed it. But yeah, my first ever college party was in November. So of course it was cold. I'm talking about 40 degrees outside cold. What day was it on? I think it was a Friday. And I didn't have any like I had my lab course. Sometimes my lab would be canceled, so I don't know. I can't remember that day if my lab class was canceled or not. But if we didn't have it, then I had all of Friday off. But later Friday night, that's when the party like was starting. And my friend Safari, she's the one that I think texted me or like showed me. She's like, "Oh my gosh, this party's happening," and it's right up the road from our university. So I was like, "Of course I'm gonna go. Like, let's go experience that." So it was off. Like the party was off campus. Okay, and like I said, it was freezing, and I decided I was doing a lot of questionable things in college, but I decided to wear some jean shorts, my white Converse high tops, a tube top, and then my Justin Bieber denim jacket. So this is what I wore. And it's like freezing outside. So I think it was around like 9 o'clock at night. And we were in my dorm. Like she just came to my dorm and we were ready to go. So we decide to walk to this party. Like I'm not joking, it wasn't that far. But at night and it was cold, two black girls. Okay, I know. And it was in Denton. Like Denton is just one of the ones. So yeah, it was kind of but we decided to walk. So we walked to the venue that this party was held at, right? We got there like 20 minutes before it was supposed to start. So the doors weren't open. There was like a police officer there. Like it was like a whole thing. And I was like, oh. But we decided to like walk around and wait till they opened doors. And there was this shopping center in front of the venue that the party was held at, and it had a Cece's Pizza in this little strip right here. So I don't know what we were doing, but we were like messing around and like we were about to walk past the Cece's Pizza. But I looked and there was like, I'm talking about a whole bunch of guys just sitting at this, like the very front table. And I'm not walking past there. So we were like, let's just walk. I was like, I'm not walking past there. I cannot. Like, I'm talking about the table is right in front of the window of Cece's Pizza. So like literally all eyes would have been on us. Like they would have looked at us. And I was just like, no, I'm not gonna walk past there. So we were messing around and stuff, and then we heard like I think it was a Burger King right behind us. And we heard some noises coming from over there or whatever, and we were like, okay, let's go. So like we literally started ducking behind like cars so the guys wouldn't see us. I don't know. It was just so dumb. But we were young. Like we were like, but yeah, it was nothing to it. It was just like we started ducking. And then eventually we walked back over to the building and they checked our IDs, asked us if we had like, I guess like alcohol on us and everything like that. And we were like, no. And we had to stand in line after they checked our IDs. And because the party was 18 and up. So, yes. And then we walked through and they like wand us down. It was like a whole thing. So the party started and it was really no one at first. And then when it got later, it was probably by this time, I think it was like 11 o'clock at night. And more people actually started coming. And the more people that started coming, the more weed you could smell. Like you could literally, and you saw guys with weed and like blunts in their hand. You could tell a lot of people were high, probably a little tipsy. I mean, they were actively bringing weed in here. And I was like, you could smell it. It was so strong. And it was a lot of guys, a lot. And I remember this one time I went to go wait for my friend outside of the restroom because she had to go to the restroom. Of course, she's not going by herself. So I was sitting down, and three guys are like walking towards the restroom. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I see you walking to the restroom. Don't care. But of course, I'm alert. So I'm on my phone. I think I was texting or something. And a guy or like a figure standing like on the side of me, and I was like, and I look up, and it's one of the guys that was walking towards the restroom. So I look up and I was like, hi. He was like, hi. And then he said, what are you doing out here like by yourself or over here by yourself? And I was like, I'm not by myself, I'm waiting for my friend. She's in the restroom. He was like, oh really? I said, yeah. And he said, well, something like you're really pretty, or and I said, oh thanks. And he wasn't weirding me out, but it was just like, and his friend was standing next to him, and I said, okay. And at this point, like it was him and then his friend, so they were like standing in front of me while I'm sitting down, and I was like, what the freak? And he was like, oh, okay, it was nice to meet you, like maybe I'll see you around. I said, yeah. And then finally my friend came out and I got up, and the guys were just like looking at me in a weird way, and I said, okay. And we walked away, and nothing I think happened really after that. Like I didn't see them again. They didn't come up to me. We get back on the dance floor, and there's like a lot of twerking, very party music, going on. It got to a point where guys were just leaning against the wall, like not doing anything, and we're just watching, coming closer to where we were standing. And my friend said, these guys behind us are like looking over here. And I said, what for? She's like, I think they're looking at you. And I was like, why? She said, I think they, she said, I think they're waiting for you to, like, I don't know, twerk or something. And I said, no, I'm not going to twerk. Like, one of the things about me is that I am not going to, like, full on twerk in, like, in public. Like, I'm not going to do that. No. Especially not around and a bunch of guys. So I said, well, I don't know why they looking over here because that's not gonna happen. So after that, because we were on the wall too, so after that, I said, well, I'm gonna go like into the little circle of the party at the dance floor. You know how those circles be? They be really hyped, right? So I'm like hyping up and getting lit, having fun. My friend is over there, on the side, and I'm having fun. And then the next thing I feel like someone like touched me, and I was like, hmm. So I looked this way first, and I didn't see anyone. So I was like, okay, whatever. I go back to like dancing, and the next thing I hear a guy voice, and the guy's like right here next to me, and I hear someone in my ear be like, excuse me. And I was like this, and he was like this close to me. Like he was kind of tall. And so he had his hand on my lower back. Like I'm talking about lower back. And he kind of like, and he was looking at me like deep in my eyes and stuff. And then he looked back whenever he passed me. And then his friend looked at me too. And I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, we're gonna go. After that, we walked back to our dorms, which is crazy because when we were leaving, a guy asked us if we wanted a ride, and we were like, no. He asked us if we were cold because it was, like I said, 40 degrees outside, and we had shorts on. I had a tube top on. Like, we were cold, but we were not gonna get in some random guy's car at all. So we were like, no, we're fine. Like, we'll be good. And he was like, oh, okay. Like, I'm just making sure. Are you sure you don't want to ride? And we were like, no, we are good. He's like, oh, okay. Just making sure. And he was like looking me up and down. I said, okay. So we walked back to our dorms, and then we both just went to our dorms and crashed. And we didn't get back to the dorms till like 3 o'clock in the morning. So that's my story. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode. I can't wait for more unfiltered college days and stories to tell y'all guys. But I will see y'all guys in my next one. Stay tuned for that. I'm so excited. Bye, guys.